Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Mama Genius Hub podcast. I'm so excited that you are here. And oh my God, this is the one for you. Because if you've started the business, shuffled the receipts, and stressed over the spreadsheets, I know I've been there, still there right now. You started because you had a vision of freedom, flexibility, and something that lights you up. Here's the big but. Somewhere along the way, the numbers took over. The receipts stacked up. The taxes loomed. And instead of feeling in control, you felt buried. That is why René Barlow is here, because she flipped the script. Instead of hoping the numbers work out, she helps moms start with the vision, decide what matters most, how much you want to pay yourself, and then build a bookkeeping system that makes it possible. If you've been stuck in survival mode, this conversation will help you move into clarity, confidence, with money as a tool, not a stressor. Mamas, welcome to the Mama Geniuspreneur podcast, where real stories spark real transformations for moms ready to bring their vision to life. I'm Michelle DeKaiser, a mom of three, entrepreneur, and your biggest cheerleader if you've ever felt pulled to create something bigger, whether it's a business, a book, or a movement, but also felt the weight of daily life slowing you down. You are not alone. In just 15 minutes, we'll dive into insights, strategies, and real stories for women like you. Let's bring your visions to life, starting now. And Renee is a professional bookkeeper who helps women entrepreneurs gain confidence and clarity through their business finances. Through her customized services, workshops, she empowers mom to save time, reduce stress, and build thriving businesses. Her approach begins with vision first, then anchors in strong financial systems so women can finally feel in control of their money and their future. Welcome, Renee. I'm so excited that you are here.
Thank you, Michelle.
What I have to ask you is your why behind help women really figure this out.
That is a great question. I have always had that entrepreneur spirit in a way in my life. And as I have done different things, I've found that other women also have the same desires, right? We have great skills. And so a lot of us start some kind of a business, and sometimes it's an accidental business, and we didn't realize that's what we were doing. And then they get stuck in the numbers and they just don't know what to do. And they probably didn't go to business school. And so I love to help. Right. So I relate to the moms and the mompreneurs who are starting businesses and doing that. And so by taking my skills and something I love to do that is easy for me, I can help moms to bring their vision and their goals to life. You can have a successful business, but you got to get some of these foundations in place to make it easier.
Okay, you said that word easy 3 times. I was counting and I was like, when it comes to money, sometimes I feel like it's just so overwhelming. So I'm so glad that you're here. And that's why we're here about talking about our own geniuses so we can help support, because the entrepreneur world, literally, like I picture that story I read with my daughter of the hats piling up. But that's what we do as entrepreneurs and the overwhelmingness. And so it's coming out and finding those that can help you with it. So I want to dive straight into, because you talk about, and it's everything that I talk about too, is vision first. It should come before your finances. So I want you to clarify, what does that even mean?
Yeah. So for me, especially as a mompreneur, my husband's income is what we live off of. So if your business is that extra side business, that's awesome. If your business is the main business, then you really have to be clear on this, right? Because if you're supporting the whole family and your whole life, then you really need to be clear on these goals. If it's a side business, I have to balance a lot of the time my family and my mother-wife duties, and then building my business at the same time. And if I don't have them figured out of where I'm going to go, either I spend all my time over there taking so much of that, and then you get like that mom guilt of, oh no, I need to be doing the family things. And I'm neglecting the business. So you have to have the vision of, what does your business play in your life? What is the role it plays in your life?
But if you were to sit down and actually put that on a paper, what might that look like?
I would start with, is it just a hobby? So it's something fun for you to do? Or does it really need to produce income for your family? And if so, how much? Because that makes a difference of how big your business is going to get and how you can grow. If you only really need money for like piano lessons, maybe vacation, that's maybe a couple $100, a couple $1,000, maybe a month that you need. It doesn't have to be this gigantic thing. Or do you really need money that is bigger? And so your business needs to be bigger to support your family goals. Like, what goals are you using your business for? So an example is in my life, my husband is a school teacher, which is awesome. And we love the lifestyle it creates, but it doesn't pay a lot as if he was a computer programmer, which is what he teaches. Yes, he teaches computer programming. He could go be a computer programmer, but he loves teaching. And we've chosen that as a lifestyle. So my business, for the most part, is supplementary to our income until we had to buy a car last year. Now I have a car payment that I haven't had in 9 years. So now it's a little more important, actually. And it's starting to pay for some of the necessities. And with inflation and all of those things, my business income that I'm paying myself is starting to become more important to our family finances. When I very first started, it really was extras for piano lessons and swimming lessons and those kind of things. And now it's becoming more important. So I need to have systems in place so that I can pay myself. I know how much my business has to earn.
I'm going to dive right into paying yourself first in just a minute. So the key really is to figure out how to pay yourself first. And like a lot of times entrepreneurs never pay yourself. And so how do we fix that mindset and really dive into that new mindset?
Yeah, that I call it a goals first budget. People might have heard of the word like profit first, right? There's a book that's very popular and it's similar to that, but I've kind of put my spin on things. So I call it a goals first budget. And the very first part is figure out what you need to pay yourself, which means you have to go through your family finances and find out, okay, does my business only have to pay me $200 a month? Is it $500 a month, $1,000, $2,000, $5,000? Right? Everyone's different. Step number one is to figure out what you need to pay yourself to make your family and personal goals happen. So after that, you can reverse how everyone does budgets. Normally, it's here's my income, here's my business expenses. Oh, maybe I better save a little for taxes. Oh, maybe I need to have a business savings. Do I have any for that? Okay, now I can pay myself at the end. So this is not necessarily a budget tracking system, right? You're not going to track it this way, but it's a mindset issue, a CEO planning exercise to flip it completely backwards. And you figure out what you want to pay yourself. Based off of that, you can figure out like a starting place of what you would need to save for taxes. Then if you're going to save certain things in your business and build a business savings account, you have that. Then you have your business expenses. And then you come up with what is your target revenue goal for your business. Now you know what you're shooting for. You know how much you have to earn every month because you planned with your goals first of how much you want to pay yourself. So it's an exercise of business planning.
I love that so much in terms of the CEO mindset, because you're always just like this convoluted, oh, I need to make some sort of number. And then especially the entrepreneur, oh, I need to make, it'd be great to make $1 million, but is that practical or is that even what you need right now as a mom and having your kids? And what really is your goal right now to really pinpoint that? Because we don't necessarily think we're just like this ambiguity. And then of course we're not bringing anything in because it's too ambiguous.
Right. Yes. So I did this exercise in May and it was so powerful because I was trying to figure out how am I going to do summer with all my kids home. And my husband's a school teacher. He's home too. And still grow my business. We love it. Yes. Because it's who's on parent duty, who gets to work, who gets to relax, all those kind of things. And we figured it out. We're getting better now. After 10 years, we figured it out a little. But I didn't know what I was going to do with my business. I was really panicked. And I did this exercise in May so that I could find out where's my goals? Where do I want to set myself up for the fall and go backwards? So what does that mean for my business in the summer? Because I knew what my goal was and I could go backwards versus, okay, I'm going to work. Do I spend 80 hours a week working? No, not in the summer. It helped me figure out my summer so that I could enjoy my summer. And it was awesome. We had lots of good family time, lots of camping trips, outside things, right? Like memories. And I also worked and my business grew and I had made my goals because I knew where I was going. And I knew what the numbers were going to be. It was like the focus, that vision was there. And then I could figure everything else out and be like, where do I want to be in January? What does that look like for the next quarter?
What are the 4 simple systems that every mompreneur needs for financial clarity?
Awesome. Okay. So this is now the actual like practical bookkeeping, right? We've talked vision, big picture, which you need to have. Now this is what you need to do, like the bookkeeping. So the very first one is some kind of bookkeeping system, right? So are you going to use a spreadsheet? Spreadsheets can work really great for certain sizes of business and certain people of how they work, right? So don't discount spreadsheets, but I really do love like Wave as a simple bookkeeping system, or QuickBooks is the most popular one. And there's some new ones coming on the scene called Zero and Zoho books. But you got to have some way to track stuff. You got to update it somewhere so you can get a report. So find a system. It could be any of them. So that's number one, is just have a system. Then number two is you need to figure out how you're going to organize your receipts, which we'll go into more detail at the very end. Then my third one is tracking your miles. Most likely you're a work-at-home mom, like I am, and I work in my side of the bedroom here. That's why the screen is blurred. I'm in the side of my bedroom, and I just work at home. So if I go to any kind of education event, I can track those miles driving back and forth. So I have a pink notebook in my car, and my kids know when they clean out the car, don't take out mom's notebook because that's what she writes in. You want to be able to have a way to track it so that you can write a business purpose, because it can give you a really good tax deduction. I was working with a client and she had to drive at least every week. She would drive like 50 miles at least every week one way. So 100 miles a week times 50 weeks. That's hundreds of miles. And the tax deduction was huge. And she's like, oh my gosh, why am I not tracking that? So it can be really helpful. And you might not drive a lot, but still a couple $100. It's a good deduction. So that's number three. And then number four is the routine. Set up a routine. And most people will say monthly is the best, right? And I agree with that. Monthly is the best. But if you're not going to do a monthly, aim for your quarterly or every other month. But you don't want to be doing it the end of December, January, February. Like we all know what that tax season stress is like. So I even just created a way to support people if they're doing their own bookkeeping. Then I have a bookkeeping power hour where you log in once a month and we do it all together. It's like co-working, body doubling, that kind of space. And you can log in, you can ask some questions, you get it all updated. Our first one was last week. They loved it. So we're going to keep going.
I love that so much. And that's so helpful when you're like doing the things together and you set the time. Because I know as women, sometimes we just plug it in and set the time and everything, then we get it done. Yes. And so then what's our last tip, which is an easy, stressful way to save and track receipts?
Yes. Okay. So receipts, depending on what kind of business you have, you may have lots of paper ones, but my business as a bookkeeper is mostly online. However, I have gone to Walmart a few times and I've had to buy office supplies of some kind. So depending on what, you might have a lot of paper receipts that you're like sticking in a box or in a pile somewhere in the corner, that shoe box full of papers, or you might have a lot of emailed receipts. So for both of them, I do the same thing. I create an online folder, and it's a subfolder of like in my accounting folder, finance folder, and I call it 2025 receipts. And that's in my Google Drive folder that I also call 2025 receipts. So anytime I get emailed a receipt, I take that email and put it in that folder so I can find it. I will also go through that folder and save those as a PDF into my Google Drive folder. So it's saved in two places. But my online folder is in Google Drive. And so when I have a paper receipt, I take a picture on my phone and I share it with that Google Drive and I label it. And then it's in that folder. And then the paper receipt can get lost or faded, but then it's saved right then just with a picture on my phone.
Tell everyone how to use.
You can go to my website, barlowbookkeeping.com. And there is a freebie on the website that is 6 proven ways to conquer your pile of receipts. And you can book a free consult call. I do setup and trainings for people, and I do ongoing bookkeeping. So wherever you're at, I can help you, whether you're at the beginning or you're ready to outsource. I can help you either way.
We're going to put you backstage for just a minute, give some wonderful takeaways today. Oh my gosh, so much first. But number one really is getting that vision first. What is your goals? What is the amount of money that you need to bring in first so that you can work backwards? And so it leads us into number two is really defining those goals. What are your business goals? What are your family goals? And listing them out so that you're not thinking. And number three, of course, is pay yourself first. So having that goal first of paying yourself and then working backwards to where you need to put everything and planning like a CEO, where you can then go to pay, save taxes, build business savings, business expenses, and then the target revenue. So you're having all of that lined in. And that takes us to number four, which is her tips in having some sort of bookkeeping, organizing your receipts, tracking your miles, and routinely, if you can, monthly, putting that all together and making sure that's updated. And then number five was our big takeaway of how to keep track of the paper receipts, how to put the emails and everything so you have all your receipts for tax purposes. Thank you.
We have such wonderful gifts to share as moms and as women. Find people to help you so you can bring your genius to life.
Oh, I love that so much. So keep that in mind as we get through the Mama Genius, because it's all about highlighting your genius and helping others find theirs as well. We'll see you on the next episode. Bye, everyone. Mama, I hope you found something in these 15 minutes that sparked action towards your dreams. Remember, your purpose matters, your dreams are valid, and you are not alone. If today's conversation spoke to you, come join us at the Mama Genius Hub, where you'll find support, strategy, and sisterhood to turn your calling into real impact. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe so you'll never miss an episode. If this resonates with you, share it with another mompreneur who needs to hear this. We'll see you next time.